Hey everybody, welcome back to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. I'm excited to bring you another booth studio update in my new home, my new studio. And as you know, I've been doing a lot of work in the booth, but I've spent the last day and a half, 2 days working on outside of the booth. I still can't find my monitors, but I did get a lot of stuff done in my studio, and I want to talk to you about what I did. So let me go ahead and show you. So this is what I've done so far in my studio. All right. And I've got my old, so I found things from my previous that was packed away. We've been unpacking and stuff, so I've been finding more and more stuff. As you can see, I found my RE20. I was missing a bolt on it, so I had to go to Home Depot, get that, but it's all hooked back up. It works. As you can see, the two spots here where there's junk on, those where my monitors go. They're somewhere packed in a box. I've got all the cords. The cords are sitting over there, but there's no speakers. So as you can tell, I've done a lot of work here. And I want to talk to you about how I set all this up, why I set it up the way it is. And I can already tell that in this room, I mean, it's so much better. You know what I mean? Of course, we'll do another quick look at the booth in a second, but, I wanted to talk outside about, outside my studio and why I do what I do. So I've gotten a bunch of questions recently, hey, can you kind of go through how you exactly, do all kinds of things, like put the stuff on the wall, why you're splitting your studio and, like your editing station and your recording studio and stuff. Why do you separate those, etc.? So I want to go over those kind of things with you today and kind of talk to you about those. So first off, I like to separate my studio and my booth because I'm just kind of panning around here, as you can kind of see. I want to show you the back here. I separate them because I like to, a couple of reasons. One, the computer, the interface, monitors, all this stuff makes noise. And when I first started voiceover, 5 years ago, I had it all in one spot, and I did for a couple of years. I recorded everything in the same, all the equipment was in the same spot, but there was always this noise that I could never get rid of, right? So eventually I switched. Also, I noticed too that I really like to stand up when I do voiceovers. Okay, so that was another thing. So I switched that. Also, I do a lot of, as you guys know, videos, coaching. I'm starting to get all this stuff set up again for all of that. I'm super excited. So I do a lot of that, and it's so much easier to do it here. Do you know what I mean? So and then I find I can isolate the booth a lot better, and still have open space and room and things outside to separate them. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of nice, and the airflow and everything is better, and it makes it easier. So that's the reason I like to separate those things too. But I want to talk to you now about why I set up everything I did. So I like purple. I like purple, blue, orange. You guys know the colors I like. But I went different. Usually I had blue and orange in my last studio, but I thought, hey, I'm in a new place. Let's go with purple and black, because here I didn't have as deep blue, but I did have the blue. Oh, also too, just so you know, in my booth I set up LED lights running along the top of my studio, my booth, right? So so these change all kinds of colors here. Real quick, just so you guys know for this, so here's green, there's red, I've got all kinds of different colors, but that those are simply under the cabinet lights, under your cabinets, like your kitchen cabinets. They stick really well. Just make sure when you stick them and you go to pull them back off, you're gonna pull off stuff. See, like for you're gonna pull off paint stuff. See, I've noticed with my space, since it's brand new and it hasn't been painted over and over and over again, right? You know, it rips off everything. So you got to make sure you do a good job. But anyways, so I wanted to quick show you that. But I wanted to also share with you how I put these things on and why I've set up my studio this way. So real quick, these lights here, that came from the last Whisper Room I had. I had gotten 2 sets of them. When I sold my Whisper Room, I gave the 1 set, you know, with the Whisper Room, and then this was the other set that I purchased separately and I kept. And the reason why I really like these is because when I sit here and do my videos, right, I have these overhead lights, right? And now with that, it gives me extra you know, like lighting in the front of my face, and it really helps, which makes a big difference, you know, when you're filming. Also, corners are important. You know what I mean? I set up the corners here with bass traps along the corners. Now, simply for me, how I put these in, these are just foam wedges. They're 12 inches by 12 inches by 2 inches. If you can afford it, go with the 4 inches. Get the biggest ones, the longest ones you can get. I got 2 inches because a couple of reasons. One, they're way cheaper, and two, they come in like a day or two. Whereas the other ones are like on back order, you know, because they're harder to make or whatever. They just take longer. But I have a little secret of how I do this, how I put these in, because for the longest time when I was putting up all of my stuff, it would always fall down. It would always be a mess. So what I actually use are simply T-pins. All right. And basically what I do is I take the foam here. All right. You can kind of see I take the foam here and I take a T-pin and I pin it. I push it in. Yes, it goes into the drywall. Yes, if you pull it out, it will leave a little hole, but you know, you don't see it and it sticks. I mean, look, it's amazing. You'll never have to worry about having issues with this. You can stick it to the ceiling if you want to and go to the walls. All of this is stuck up with T-pins, all right? And even these bass traps, all I do is take T-pins and put them through the bass trap to the foam, and it holds it up beautifully. This is just a corner bass trap that I had gotten from Amazon, you know, I had in my previous studio. Oh, I'm going to turn this here. So, you know, that's why that is. Now, I've decided in this space, so that's how I put these in. I also make sure that when you're putting up your acoustical foam, you vary the distance, you vary the patterns. This for a couple reasons. One, it just looks better. It's a nice pattern. Two, though, what happens is that whenever when you're speaking and sound waves are going around, what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to catch the sound waves, and the sound waves in here are supposed to bounce up and down, starting out here, going closer into the middle, right? Now, of course, I think they're called Anechoic Chambers. They have really long pieces like this, right? And that's how they can get such quiet, or such like no reverb or whatever. Okay. And you want to vary this so that, again, there is like they come here and then they go and they diffuse here. There's never a continuation of anything, so that whenever there's sound waves going, it's always being stopped or rerouted or moved to a different direction. It's never just the same. All right, so that's really important why you have these like this. I just like these particular colors. They're inexpensive too. You can see I also put a picture over here of my family, my wife and my children on the wall. In my last studio, I had, the microphone with the the microphone on the curtain for the, my window. But, in my last studio, I didn't have this gorgeous view. And two, it was always, my curtain was always up. So I never had like, and I never saw the sunlight. So, but because of the way my booth, my editing station was set up in my last studio, I had to do it that way because I was facing directly, it was directly behind me. You know what I mean? But here I don't have that issue. Here, this is what's directly behind me. Now I've chosen not to, as of right now, put foam. I didn't choose to put foam on this door here, even though it would be ideal to put foam there. The reason why I didn't is because this opens, you know what I mean, kind of right into my house. All right, and you can kind of see, as you can see, we've got furniture and stuff moving in, and cool. Of course, the kitchen cabinets aren't here yet, so we're still waiting all that, and there's no paintings or pictures on the walls, but we're in, and that's what matters. I slept in our house for the first time last night, and it was glorious. Should I put foam here? Probably. I'll be honest with you. I like the color. I like the different, like the white, the breakup of the colors. And since this is the editing station, it actually sounds really good in here without having to put extra foam anywhere. And that's what's cool, right? Because if I was recording out here voiceovers, it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? I would need to do what I've done in here, right? Which is just, and you can kind of even tell when you come in here, there's still quite a bit of a difference in here, with the sound. And I do have stuff on this door. Now, one other thing, I saw one of my wonderful people who watch a lot of my videos, and he said something about, I saw this was about the TV being in the corner, and it doesn't make a difference. So I wanted to address that. And I'm not quite sure why he's saying it doesn't make a difference. For me, a couple reasons I like it in the corner. One, whenever you are doing a voiceover or sound waves are coming out of your mouth, whenever you see there's a corner here, all right, whenever you can have a place where your sound waves hit in front of you and they don't bounce directly back, they go in different directions. Do you know what I'm saying? It's better. Now, the fact that the TV is up here as opposed to over here or over here, I mean, I suppose that doesn't necessarily matter. But to me, and I talked about this area right here below that absorbs my voice when I'm talking does matter, right? And it's the corner. Plus, I have these really thick pieces. There's a big reason why I put it there. I put it there on purpose. But I just wanted to address that because I had one of our very loyal watchers and comments very much. Thank you. Mentioned that. So, but anyways, I hope you guys really liked this. I hope that was helpful. Now for that, to put up that, I actually literally used command strips. I think it's like 2, 4, 6, 8. I have like 8 on there. Command strips on there. Whoops, sorry. And I have thought about, because I have lots of different, remember my past studio have all kinds of different pictures. I thought about putting them up, but the reality is that I think, I might want them different parts of the house, and I like the way this is. I might put I might get a lamp, a stand-up lamp that goes right here, or I might actually get a little bookshelf or something eventually, but I really like the way everything is, and it's open. Oh, by the way, too, the nice fluffy carpet, right, that's throughout everything. All right, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. I love the fluffy carpet, and it makes great sound. Also, the headphones. Somebody had asked about headphones. Now, I have my headphones in here, okay? And I have them in here simply because when I'm in here, if I'm doing a directed session or I'm doing anything or I'm trying to listen back to something, I can listen to the headphones. I do not record with the headphones on. I can't stand it. And I do not edit with headphones because I can't stand it either. I use monitors. Of course, I can't find my monitors at the moment, so I'm just using the computer. Don't normally do that, okay? But the reason why I feel confident getting away with it is because I have done so much of this. I know that the sound is fantastic. So even though it sounds, weird coming out of the computers, but like it's not a great way to get a clean sound from your regular computer speakers, I feel confident, okay, with me personally, because I know what I'm doing. But if I was just starting out, I would do not recommend you, doing that. But like I said, I have monitors as soon as I find them. So anyways, listen, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Just going back to the RE20, you see, I love this thing. That's actually my Wi-Fi, my internet for the whole house. And of course, over here, as Lord knows I was doing bills earlier, there is the Universal Audio Apollo Twin. That's my interface. And yeah, so, and I got a bunch of wireless, I got wireless keyboards and mice and all kinds of stuff. So I'm very happy about how everything's going. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and comment as always. Hit that subscribe button. Also make sure you hit the notification bell too. Also, if you have got a chance, check out the link below because we're running a special. As we know, you might know, we have what's called a VO's Journey Elite Academy. And, we every day of during the week, we have classes for marketing, for acting, for technical work, for editing, business systems, etc. Really fantastic. We'd love to have you. And we're running a special right now, 50% off the first month. So check that out. There'll be a link below for that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.